Here's a good feel-good story we can all get around. I know Russell Wilson gets a bit of flack for, being a bit corny here and there, but I was scrolling through Twitter. This is going to come out tomorrow morning for my Saturday, your Friday, as I'm going to work at 6 a.m. But I was scrolling through Twitter, and Mark Caboli, I think he was on the Pat McAfee show talking about this, and he's got there's a lot of good gems in here that reflects Russell Wilson's nature and his overall, I guess, commitment to the team. And I think he's been a real valuable asset, not only as a quarterback, but for the team, for the city of Pittsburgh. He's always going to the Children's Hospital, doing like community things like that. But I know Russell Wilson gets a bit of a flack for being corny, being a bit goofy here and there, but he's doing good things. I want to read this, just kind of like paraphrase and comment as I go on this tweet. But Mark Caboli says, this is in terms of Russell Wilson, our quarterback who was 2-0 versus the Commanders this week. He says he takes a bill. Obviously, he doesn't have to do it, but he takes it every week. So apparently, Russell Wilson takes his offense out to dinner every single Thursday. And I'm going to scroll down here. And thanks to Mark Caboli, his Calvin Austin picked the bill once and was thought plenty enough for a guy who was a late fourth round pick a few years ago, still playing on his rookie contract. And Austin said, "Yeah, I was good after that," said with a chuckle. "Now I just say thank you and don't even try and sneak a look anymore." So it looks like from this one big paragraph on Twitter that Russell Wilson takes his offense out to dinner to gel. But it gets better. The more I read this, the more I was like, I need to try and tell Steeler Nation how good of a bloke, how good of a person he is. So apparently more than 30 football players eat at a high-class steakhouse or restaurant every single Thursday. So Double Eagle Steakhouse in downtown Pittsburgh, inside a private dining area, and you assume the final bill could be price of a used car. It goes on to say that Russell Wilson made over $300 million, had a massive career in the NFL, getting paid over $39 million via the Broncos. And Ciara, his singer-songwriter, is obviously quite wealthy too. So Russell Wilson is a very wealthy person, but he's been working hard at his job in quarterbacking, veteran quarterback. That's why Tomlin went with him for that choice. And he's taken his team out for dinner, and he's taken the bill every single time, because maybe other guys aren't on such high price, maybe $1 million a year or $1.5 million a year, but definitely it's pretty cool. So when I go into it more, right, it's some nice stories and good comments by players that are his teammates. So here's one of the comments here. It says, "We spend so much time on the field, and it's just great to be able to spend some time off the field and go to dinner and watch the game with the entire offense. It's a great fellowship," Wilson said. That's via Russell Wilson. He said, "It's nice to come together at the end of the day, have a good time together, and learn about each other off the field." All right, okay, it's not football talk, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that mateship, kind of cool to see him investing into his offense, into his offensive line, to his skilled players, that whoever's going to the dinners every Thursday night, he wants to learn more about them on the field, developing that receiver connection, developing that center exchange, developing the tight end relationship that is Russell Wilson, Freiermuth, Darnell, the guys who are blocking, even handing the ball off to Najee, right? It's a feel-good story that Russell Wilson is planning these events for the whole team or the offense, at least, I'm not too sure about defense, but at least the offense to get together and build that camaraderie, build that brotherhood of steel. These moments, man, I know it's a bit far-fetched, but these moments are kind of like Super Bowl moments. He says here, in a tradition that he brought with him from Denver, Wilson organizes a team dinner every Thursday night, which he invites every offensive player on the team. That's like 25 players. Whether he's on the 53-man roster or the practice squad or injured reserve, the player is invited. So I guess the only downside, sorry, I wasn't putting it up here. The only downside is that maybe he's not inviting the defense, but he's inviting every single practice squad member, offensive team member on the team. So defensive guys, sorry, you don't get invited, but I'm going to invite my offense out to dinner and pay for everybody. So it's pretty cool. Let me bring it back. All right, yeah. So it goes on to continue. This is from Connor Hayward. He said, "Everybody is welcome." Tight end Connor Hayward said he takes care of everything. It's just good time hanging out with the guys outside the building. You have to understand we're all busy, and as a quarterback, you are 10 times busier. But to take time out of his day, by the way, I'm a very, very massive component of time a day If someone's giving you a time of day in terms of conversation or trying to teach you something, trying to learn a new skill, definitely listen, and time of day is very key. So time of day for Russell Wilson is a high priority. And he says, and Haywood says here, and all of us taking us that time says something. So your quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, not like the fans' quarterback. If you're a player, he's my quarterback. Taking me to dinner every single Thursday. Make sure we're eating. Make sure we're conversing with one another, having a good time, joking, laughing, building that brotherhood, building that friendship. That does mean something to these players. And that's why these players are 2-0 with Wilson. That's why these players are 4-2 with Justin Fields. That's why this team is 6-2, have a good chance to go for a playoff run this year. He says here, it's not unusual for players to get together on a Thursday night, hang out and watch football, whoever the Thursday night football game is. So I guess they would have went to a bar, to a dinner to watch the Bengals versus Ravens. And they'd definitely be like, okay, we can take care of this team. This team allows 26 points a game. Same with the Bengals, 25. So it says here, it's usually reserved for individual position groups and nothing really over the top. Reserve quarterback Kyle Allen has played in Carolina, Washington, Houston, Buffalo, and come in the Steelers, and never did much get together more than other quarterbacks. He says, when I was in Buffalo, just the QBs, and by the way, shout out to Mike Bollett for getting all this information. Kyle Allen says, when I was in the Buffalo, just the QBs would get together every week. Allen said, I don't think I've ever been in a place when everybody went out. It was cool, especially after a long Wednesday or Thursday, tough days a week, to get a good meal and watch some football. All right, hold up. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm ready for a Super Bowl run. This team, led by Wilson, taking his people, I know it doesn't mean too much, but it could be like the secret weapon. Like dead set, taking your fellas out to eat, get them a good steak meal, get them some potatoes, get them some good mushroom gravy sauce, get them like some appetizers, I don't know, garlic bread. Get them all beefed up, all ready there. A good, solid meal with the boys, with the fellas, means a lot. 110%. This means a lot. I know it sounds crazy. It's only food, but it means a shit ton for these fellas to get together. So Kyle Allen said only quarterbacks used to hang out with these other teams. Now that the offensive side is hanging out together. It says here, it says highly regarded and well-respected center Maurkice Pouncey was the point man of what was said to be some legendary Thursday night meals at his home for the entire offensive line, second half of his career. Last year, there you go. Last year, Kenny Pickett would organize a weekly gathering with the offensive line. Tight ends would get together, receivers and defensive backs, so on and so forth, if they would get together as an offensive unit. However, Wilson opened it up for the entire offense while in Denver. It's unknown if he did the same for Seattle, but he said here, here's a great quote from Russell Wilson. My goal is to lead this team in any way possible. Wilson said, the relationships and friendships have been fun, and one of those has been working with tight end Pat Freiermuth. Says here it says here who's taken a bigger leadership role this year, and he doesn't want to miss out on Thursday night dinners because he knows how much it means to Wilson and players. He says here it gets the boys getting to know each other outside of football. Freiermuth said just taking the extra time of our lives to break bread with each other means a lot. And it goes a long way to have a meal and talk football, talk life, and have good friendships, right? Then it says here, every Thursday the dinner went on. He did this when he was playing. So right there, I said that this guy isn't going to change. Austin said, he's an all-around good guy. That's coming from Calvin Austin. And you know what? That builds up that connection too, from CA3 to Russell Wilson, and also Russell Wilson to Freiermuth. Then it says here, it was the same old Russell when he wasn't playing, when he was Haywood added. So I guess when he wasn't playing, he was still doing Thursday night. Even though Fields was a quarterback, he was still going to dinners, buying the whole bill, taking care of business. What do you want? Broderick Jones, do you want the extra garlic bread? Do you want extra cheese dip? I'll get it. Do you want a Coke? Let's go. Calvin Austin, do you want some ribs? Let's go. He's taking care of business. It says here, at this point from Spencer Anderson said, at this point, we just kind of assume it's happening. He would just come up to us and say, we are going X, Y, and Z tonight. See you there. Russell Wilson taking command of the offense, saying, we're going down to this fantastic steak restaurant. We're going to this seafood joint. Will you come? Be there at 6:30. I'm going to take the bill. I'm going to feed you. Let's go. That to me is winning football. That's why they're winning off the field and also winning on the field. It says here the O-line is always 100% in participation, obviously because they want a big feed. Said with a chuckle, it's bonding, it's fellowship. We're just there socializing, eating, having a good time. He takes the bill. And obviously, he doesn't have to do it, but he takes it every week, and we appreciate it. It's good for the team from a bonding aspect. Boy, oh boy, I've been ranting a lot. I've been talking a lot about food and whatnot, but kind of like, what else do you want? Russell Wilson's secret weapon is bonding with his team, paying for the meal, paying for the drinks, getting the fellas together, all 25 players on offense and maybe some of the practice squad. He said he invites every single person. So maybe some people can't make it, but he invites every single person on the offense, right? And we probably see small little pockets of things would happen with the defense, but Russell Wilson is definitely going above and beyond, stepping up and taking that leadership role that we have talked about in the offseason and the last 2 games. It says here, let's go down. It's stuff you just can't measure, Austin said, CA3. I've only been in the league for 3 years, but it was the first time having a team dinner like that. We all know it's every Thursday. We will go to Russ and say, where are we going this week? When this first started this, you had other things to do, but now it's something that we look forward to do. Another great comment from CA3. The fact that it's a consistent thing, it's built into their schedule. They know every Thursday, besides playing the Browns on Thursday Night Football, they know where to be, what time, and they're saying, and Wilson said, we're going here. I'll take care of the bill. Let's eat. Let's talk strategy. Let's talk food. Let's talk life. Let's get the job done. The more I read this tweet, this is like one of the best things I've read in a very long time in terms of our Steelers getting together in the locker room. There is no drama. Everybody's buying in. Everyone's ready. It says here, you couple that with Wilson's play, and the Steelers might have something. They have a 6-2 record, first place in the AFC North at midway point. Wilson is undefeated since returning his calf injury. He's thrown over 542 yards, 3 TDs, and the offense is 835 yards in a win over the Jets and Giants. We know that because we kicked their bums, right? Russ is a cool dude and a great leader. Tight end Darnell Washington said he was always picking us up and trying to get us better at something. He helps us with little tips and about what we might have worked. Other places where he has been, he's always trying to make us better. That's pretty cool. In summary, Russell Wilson takes out his whole offensive players, his whole group, and says, we're meeting at X, Y, and Z. Be here at 6:30. Be here at 6 p.m. I'm going to pay for the whole bill. Don't worry about it. Order what you want. Steak, chicken burger, ribs, whatever, lasagna. You order whatever you want and get the drink, and I'll cover you, and we're going to have a good time, relax, sit back, and we're just going to enjoy the moment. Now, I don't know how much money that could be, a couple $1,000. It could be $5,000, $6,000, maybe $8,000 per night. But Russell Wilson is investing in his team, and he's building that support network from receivers to offensive linemen to all gel together, and that's going to transfer then onto the field. That's why we're 6-2. Anyways, guys, I'll go and check out. I'll see you later. I thought that was a really cool story. Russell Wilson is going above and beyond in his leadership. He's paying for every person to get fed steak, whatever it may be, on a Thursday night. They sit back, they watch football, they chill out, and they're like, you know what? Russ, you're a good dude. Or they go, Darnell, you're a good dude. CA3, you make me laugh, bro. It's funny. This team is coming together. This might be one of the best locker room stories that we've heard of in a very, very long time. This team is coming together, and they can definitely be a Super Bowl team this year in 2024.